Hello artists, this is a video on showing you how to build a clay dragon's eye using modeling magic, a piece of poster board or cardboard, and markers, washable markers. This is a finished example of a dragon's eye. You're going to need your model magic, and this is after you create the base of your eye. So you need to create like an almond shape and make sure that's glued to your base and you have glued your glass dragon eye bead inside. I have some other videos on that. If you need those, please let me know. Then what I did was I took a hunk of modeling magic clay, and what I did was I colored inside or kind of pressed the marker onto the model magic, and what I'm doing is I'm taking the model magic and I'm kneading it. Kneading it means bending and folding and smushing it together repeatedly, just to create that color and make sure that the marker is mixed into the model magic. Then I took that color, that purple color clay, and I started to roll it into coils or a coil shape, and I started applying those coils around the outside of my eye just to create a nice thin base that everything else can connect to. Then I decided to mix in my blue, and then I thought, well, I'll just make all of them, that way I can just continue building. So I did a blue hunk of model magic, I had a hunk of green, and then I wanted some more purple. That way I could definitely have more purple in my dragon's eye. And then I wanted some red, because in my background I have some red. The red model magic mixing took a very long time and several repeats because I couldn't get the color dark enough. It kept turning out pink, and that was okay. I started making more coils. Coils is where you roll the clay back and forth, or as some students have said, it's like when you make a snake with Play-Doh. And I just wrapped that around in thin layers around my dragon's eye. Now sometimes those coils won't fit all the way across, but that's okay. But I'm alternating, which means creating a pattern with those colors. See how I started with purple, and then I did a blue one, and now I did another purple. Now I'm going to take some of the other colors, and I'm going to try something new with my coils that I'm going to make. So I'm taking a little bit of each color, just tearing off little hunks, and I'm sticking them together, one on top of the other. I wanted to do this as an experiment to see if I could mix the colors together without changing the color. And it worked. So I just slowly rolled the coil back and forth until I got it to the desired thickness or thinness. Then I used my scissors to cut the pieces apart. That way I had plenty of extra, and I rolled it out just a little bit more thin, because I wanted it to be thin layers to create those ridges around my eye. So I used the multicolored coils to add some interest to my dragon's eye. Made sure it was all pressed together. And then I realized I had some more of this different color. So I was just going to repeat that closer on top of the eye to make it look a little bit more raised up and blend together. Then I wanted to create some spikes. So I took larger hunks of clay and I started pinching the edges of the clay to make them pointy. And then I rolled them a little bit, or twisted them. And then I pressed them down flat. And I like those flat circle shapes. So I decided on this one I was going to try something new, and I created some flat circles. So I just took little hunks of the clay and I rolled them into little balls, and then I pressed them down to flatten them into flat circles or ovals to help create some layers to look like scales around a dragon eye. I repeated this process, but only with smaller bits of clay. That way I could overlay them, put them on top of each other to create an interesting look of layering. And then I had a whole bunch of extra clay, so what I decided was to roll a whole bunch of other coils, put them right next to each other, and kind of smush them or twist them together. I twisted them and then I rolled them to create a different colored coil again. I wanted this coil to be different. I wanted this one to go up and down like a wavy line on the bottom part of my eye. And then I ended it with a coil or a swirl shape. I had some other leftover clay. Using your leftover clay and combining them is a great way to create some visual interest. I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope you create your own dragon eye. Thank you for watching.